Good evening, y'all. Welcome back to Talkin In TJ. This is episode 21. Sorry, I don't know if you remember that, but anyway, this is episode 21, and I'm between two topics right now. One, discussing microaggressions. So the question would be, what are microaggressions? And or two, discussing black health disparities generally. Um, I think I'm gonna go with microaggressions because I can slightly go into some health disparities, and then save the health disparities for maybe tomorrow or later on this week. So the question for tonight, Talking in TJ, episode 21. What are microaggressions? So again, I'm a sociology major, so I've kind of learned about what microaggressions are in my experience as studying as well as working within student affairs and being a student leader back in the day. So my take on what microaggressions are they're like little things, like they can be jokes, they can be comments, they can be actions, but just little things that people face, and they either perceive it's because of a certain characteristic, like, oh, they asked me if I play basketball for UC Davis because I'm a black person here, instead of assuming that I got here on my academics. Or, oh, they said hey guys instead of hey you all, because I don't identify as a guy. Well, personally I do identify as a guy, but I'm playing a role here. If you say hey guys to a room full of people, you don't know everyone's gender, so there might be one person in there who identifies as a female or a cisgender or transgendered, and they're like, oh, I'm not a guy. um, so microaggressions are just little comments or actions that are either perceived, I think, as happening because of a certain characteristic, or they are happening because of a certain characteristic. Um, and for me, what that causes is a, a little bit of stress and anxiety at times. It can, cause maybe slight anger, even, or even like large anger. In that case, it's probably not a microaggression. That's just something that's probably disrespectful. Um, but I think the key thing, at least for me, about microaggressions are they're little, but they happen so often that they start to stack up. So as a black male, if I'm walking around on a university campus and everyone that I come in contact with calls me an athlete, or they make some type of athletic reference, or if I'm pushed out of engineering because the counselors assume I'm not smart enough to stay in that subject, if um, I'm supposed to know every single black person on the universe. Like, oh, hey, do you know that black person right there? No, no, I don't know that black person. Or if we're in a class or a lecture, and the teacher decides to, like, hey, Devon, what do you feel about Obama being president? It's like, out of everybody in here, out of the 300 people, why are you picking on the one black person to talk about Obama? That kind of stuff happens a lot in class. And as those things happen more and more often, it becomes stressful, and that stress can lead to various health disparities. For one being, just anxiety, mental illness, or mental kind of what's it called, unbalance, um, heart disease, heart attacks, anxiety attacks. I feel like there's a list of kind of stress induced or emotionally um, induced health disparities that come along with going through lots and lots of microaggressions or stressful events. Oh, so that was a long ranting session. I apologize for that. But I would like to really know what your thoughts on what microaggressions are, because again, I don't necessarily have an exact definition. I'm not a psychologist, so if are there any people studying the mind and really have experience on people with microaggressions and trying to work through those, please share your thoughts. Um, I think it's definitely a two-way street. I feel like people can, impose their thoughts, or they can impose their actions on me, and, you know, forcing kind of a microaggression, but I think sometimes I perceive things and I make it more than it is, or I assume that they have bad intentions when they might not. Um, so I would say, you control your feelings, you control your thoughts. So instead of assuming people are, saying things because I'm African American male or saying things because of other characteristics, maybe just start giving people the benefit of the doubt until they prove otherwise. Just for my own sanity, for my own health. I feel like if I don't think about it, sorry, um, I don't know. I feel like I'll be less stressed about it. But again, let me know your thoughts. Um, yeah, thanks for tuning in. TH4 TV. Check out our blog, truehealthforever.com. Just actually made a new video for True Health Forever. So for a while, we didn't have like a set. This is not what this video is for. Oh, I'm sorry. Stay true.